Get out of here before I call security. That sharp voice cut through the air like glass breaking, bouncing off the walls of a shiny uptown grocery store. Heads turned. A boy no older than 10 stood at the counter clutching a single coin in his hand. No shoes, no jacket, just a torn t-shirt that made him look even smaller under those harsh lights. His name was Malik Carter, and all he wanted that night was a can of powdered milk for his baby sister. Please, ma'am, his voice cracked, but it wasn't fear, it was stubbornness. She's 6 months old, she won't stop crying. I just need milk. The manager, a woman with diamonds dripping from her ears, sneered down at him. 20 cents. That won't buy you gum in this neighborhood. This is a store for real people, not beggars. That was the moment the glass door swung open and in walked Victor Langston. A real estate king with skyscrapers stamped with his name tailored in a suit worth more than the building Malik lived in. He had just finished signing a $50 million deal. He only came in for sparkling water. Malik turned eyes wide hope, fighting with exhaustion. Sir, please, I swear I'll pay you back when I grow up. His little voice echoed, trembling but clear. My grandma always said, there's always someone with a good heart. Can you be that person today? Victor froze mid-stride, annoyed at being interrupted by this barefoot kid. He let out a low laugh, the kind that chills your bones. Do you know who I am? I build towers. I don't hand out charity to bums. Malik's chin lifted, even as tears blurred his sight. I'm not a bum, sir. My dad died overseas wearing this country's uniform. My mom works 3 jobs. But today she collapsed. My sister's hungry. That's all. Touching Victor, smirked, eyes cold. Next you'll tell me she needs emergency surgery. Security. He waved toward the door, already losing interest. But Malik didn't back down. He didn't run. He just stared into Victor's icy eyes and said, steady as stone, "You'll remember this day, and when you do, you'll realize you wasted a chance to meet someone who could have changed everything." That stopped Victor in his tracks. Something in those child's eyes rattled him a strength that didn't belong to a 10-year-old. Still, he couldn't resist putting on a show. Security lumbered over big men in black, but Victor raised a hand. Not yet. Let him talk. I'm in the mood for entertainment. He stepped closer, shoes polished like mirrors. So, Daddy dead. Mommy working herself to death. How? Quaint. He pulled a crisp 100 from his wallet, flicked it like a taunt. Here's the deal, kid. You get down on your knees right here, apologize for bothering me, and maybe I'll give this to your hardworking family. The whole store went silent. Even the guards shifted uncomfortably. The $100 bill dangled like bait. Malik's baby sister was crying miles away. His mother was sick from exhaustion, and for a second his little hand twitched. But then he straightened. His voice cut the silence. My father didn't die so I could kneel to little men. Victor's face darkened. What did you just call me? You heard me, Malik said, slipping his coin into his pocket. My father, Sergeant Daniel Carter, taught me a man's measured by his character, not his bank account. And right now, you're the poorest man I've ever met. The crowd gasped. Phones were up now, cameras rolling. Victor suddenly noticed the glow of screens. His smirk faltered. Stop filming, he barked, but no one listened. You think people will believe you over me? He hissed at Malik. Malik didn't blink. Maybe not. But the internet has a long memory. And just like that, the mighty Victor Langston looked shaken. For the first time, he realized this little boy wasn't just a nuisance, he was a threat to his image. That night, Malik left the store with empty hands, but not with empty dignity. A woman stopped him outside. She was older, carrying a press badge. Kid, what's your name? Malik Carter. She handed him $50 and her card. "That'll get your sister what she needs." And Malik, "Never forget that man's name, because I sure won't." Her name was Eleanor Hayes, a journalist with a reputation for exposing men like Victor. From then on, their lives moved on different tracks. Victor forgot the whole thing within hours, just a story he bragged about at dinner parties, laughing over champagne. You should have seen the kid's face when I told him to kneel, he'd tell his billionaire friends. But Malik, he carried that night like fire in his chest. Eleanor pulled strings to get him into a program for gifted kids after she discovered his IQ was in the top 5% nationwide. He spent his nights reading case studies on corrupt businessmen, scribbling in a notebook he titled Project Justice. One night he asked his mother if someone hurts a lot of people, but they've got money to hide it, does that mean they'll always get away with it? His mom looked at him folding laundry with tired hands. "Baby, wrong never disappears. It just waits for the right moment to be exposed." From that night, Malik wasn't dreaming of revenge. He was planning something bigger: justice. Years passed. Victor grew richer, older, more arrogant. Malik grew sharper, stronger, more determined. He went to Harvard Law on a full ride, specializing in financial crime. Eleanor kept feeding him files, whispering, "Patience, Malik. Justice takes time." 15 years later, the city woke to headlines: federal investigation into Langston properties. By midday, Victor's office tower was crawling with FBI agents. He sat in his penthouse office, veins throbbing, when the door opened. In walked a young black man in a navy suit, briefcase in hand, eyes steady and familiar. "Mr. Langston," he said, extending his hand. "Malik Carter, federal prosecutor. I believe we've met." Victor's jaw dropped. You're that boy. "I told you I'd pay you back when I grew up," Malik replied calmly. "Well, here we are." Files hit the desk: offshore accounts, forged contracts, bribed officials. "I've studied every move you made for 15 years, Malik continued. "Every eviction, every bribe, every dinner where you laughed about humiliating a hungry kid. 63 times to be exact. You told that story 63 times. Victor staggered. "My lawyers, my connections, already gone." Malik cut him off. "Your senator arrested yesterday. Your favorite judge under federal review. Your mayor friend resigned." Phones buzzed, screens flashed with news. Langston stock, collapsing contracts, canceled banks, freezing accounts. Victor's knees buckled. "My family, my business." Everything. Malik leaned in. "Your family will learn the houses they lived in were built on stolen lives. Your business will be remembered for broken homes. Your name for corruption. But me, I'm not here for revenge. I'm here for justice for every kid you thought didn't matter." As agents cuffed Victor, Malik pulled out his phone. "Mom, turn on the TV." "I kept the promise I made when I was 10. Down in the lobby, cameras flashed." Victor tried to hide his face. Malik walked tall, declaring into microphones, "Justice has no age, no color, no social class. It only has patience and preparation." That night, the internet exploded. #The promise trended worldwide. People shared their own stories of humiliation turned into triumph. 3 years later, the tower once branded Langston now read in gold letters, "The Carter Center for Social Justice." Inside, Malik and his team offered free legal aid to working families recovering billions stolen by men like Victor. His sister Diamond, the baby, who cried for milk, was now top of her class, dreaming of law school. And Victor, he woke every morning in a gray cell watching paint peel, wondering how a barefoot kid with 20 cents had dismantled an empire. When asked on national TV if he felt satisfaction, Malik smiled, not at his suffering, At the families we helped, the homes we restored, the children now in schools built with money once used for greed. That's the real payment. And here's where I leave you, listener. Because a question lingers: was this justice, or was it revenge dressed in a suit? Did Malik rise because of his own brilliance, or because Victor's cruelty gave him no other choice? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever seen someone underestimated only to rise higher than anyone imagined? And tell me, what do you think really wins in the end? Power or dignity?